Hello, I'm Daryl Eisen. Thank you for joining me today to take our What is an Optimal Life course. At Optimal Lives, we're all about helping you attain your optimal life. Have you struggled your whole life like me with your health? Up until the last 11 years, I struggled. I was on a roller coaster of diets, failed diets. I had all kinds of diseases. I was a mess. If you're one of those people, this course is for you. This program is for you. If you're healthy today, you feel healthy, you think you're healthy, you're young maybe, but you're looking at your parents and you're saying, hey, I don't want to end up overweight. I don't want to end up with health issues. I want to live my life to the fullest. This course is for you too. What is this program all about? All right, this is not a fad diet, folks, okay? If you're here for a fad diet, you're in the wrong place. But if you are here and you want a fad diet, if you want that quick fix, I urge you to stick around. This will be worth it for you. Our programs will be worth it for you. And what I have to teach you and what my colleagues in other courses will have to teach you will be worth it for you. This is all about living a clean lifestyle. This is about lifestyle change. It takes about 21 days to build a new habit. It takes 90 days to build a new lifestyle. We are here to help you build a new lifestyle, one that will give you energy and vibrance. And of course, our goal is to make sure you attain your optimal health and your optimal wealth.
How can Optimal Lives guide you on your journey to attain your optimal life? I want you to think about that as you go through this course. How can we help you? And there's a lot of ways we can help you. You're going to learn a lot of ways, but just think about that. Like you're either here because you're in an unhealthy state, you want to prevent yourself from being in an unhealthy state, or you know somebody that this can benefit. So go through this course, keep an open mind, and as you go through it, just think about how can we enhance your journey to health and success? And how can we give you the tools to be successful? What we're going to cover a little bit about me. I mean, you guys, I'm going to give you my origin story. Like, why am I doing this? All right. Why are you here? Obesity. We're going to talk about obesity. We're going to talk about how to get your optimal life. And then we're going to talk about how we can help you attain your optimal life. Your optimal health and wealth is what we consider an optimal life, right? You're healthy, you're wealthy, you're successful, and success doesn't have to mean that you're a billionaire, right, or even a millionaire. It means you're successful, you're achieving your goals, okay? Your goals that you set for yourself, not the goals other people set for you. Who am I? Listen, I spent my whole life on diet roller coasters, folks. I've tried everything, all right? If you've tried it, I've probably tried it, right? I've tried the they send you food stuff. I've tried limiting calories. I've tried limiting fat. I've tried paleo. I've tried keto. I've tried Atkins. I've tried all kinds of different ways to lose weight, and every time I lost weight, I just put it back on. Every single time, until I decided that a diet wasn't the answer, and what I really needed was a full-blown lifestyle change, okay? That's what we're here to teach you, a full-blown lifestyle change, all right? It takes 21 days, folks, to create a healthy habit. Or to create any habit, it takes 90 days to adapt to a new lifestyle. And even after that 90 days, you have to be strong in your lifestyle, and you have to know you're doing the right thing for you. Listen, my early years, I'm 5 years old here. I'm a cute little kid, happy kid. By 7, I start putting on weight. By 12, I'm 160 pounds. Okay, at 12 years old. I'm really excited about my new stereo here, by the way, in this photo. At 12 years old, I was stoked. I got this big, huge stereo, big, huge speakers. Probably sound like crap compared to just a little Bluetooth speaker now. Heck, my iPhone might even sound better by itself. But here's the thing, folks. My diet consisted of my mom cooked fairly healthy meals. She cooked from scratch at home. I mean, here was the problem though. Every meal had a glass of milk with it. All right? It wasn't organic milk. I didn't drink water. I drank Kool-Aid. So I had water, but I had so much sugar in that water. And later it was like the artificially flavored Kool-Aid, which is just as bad, if not worse. Anyway, as I went through life, I'm drinking like a couple thousand calories a day in liquid. Plus, I'm eating my mom's good home cooked meal, and we had to finish every single meal, whatever was put on our plate, we had to finish. So food was love, and if you rejected mom's food, you rejected mom, and because mom was giving you love by feeding you, right? So the food that my mom was cooking wasn't horrible. I mean, we did eat fast food. We didn't do it on a very regular basis, but and we had a lot of junk food in the house. So those were the things. Like the meals were pretty healthy. From back then, ingredients were different back then. We didn't have nearly as many food additives as we have then. I'm 45 years old. So anyway, after that, I decided at around 12 or 13 years old, I had enough. I needed to get healthy. So I started my diet roller coaster then. Around 12 or 13 years old, that's when I started my diet roller coaster. I got a little belly here at 17 years old, but I had lost quite a bit of weight. I was feeling pretty good about myself. But the thing is like, even in high school, I was always known as the fat kid. There weren't that many fat kids when I was growing up. I mean, I was one of like 2, right? By the time I got to junior high, I was one of 4 or 5. All right, out of like a couple, almost 300 students, there were only like 4 or 5 of us that were overweight or obese. All right. Today, I drive by my kids' school, I pick them up, and I see these kids that are on the road to obesity or already there, and my heart just bleeds for them. I mean, I'm hurt when I see them. I want to just help them. I want to just like take them and take their parents and lock them in a room and say, you're eating the wrong things. Let me help you. But that isn't the way it works. People have to be ready to be helped. The sad thing is for kids is kids don't have a choice. They don't know any better. They only know what their parents teach them. So keep that in mind, folks. If you have kids, all right, you want to set the example. You want to set a healthy lifestyle by setting an example for them. Here I am at 18 years old, all right? I became a United States Marine. I was a Marine for 8 years, all right? My entire time in the Marine Corps, after boot camp, until I got out 8 years later, I was fighting with my weight. I was limiting my calories. I was limiting my fat. I was doing the low-fat diet, and I didn't feel good. I pushed myself hard. I had injuries. I had a great time in the Marine Corps. That's why I did 8 years. But I was constantly fighting that because the food I was eating was the problem. All right? It was the food I was eating that was the problem the whole time. I know that now. Holy moly, by 34 years old, I was 270 pounds. So I got out of the Marine Corps when I was about 25 years old. All right? At 25 years old, I weighed about 185 pounds. I get out of the Marine Corps, and, by the way, just to take a step back, that picture right there, I'm 169 pounds. Okay? I'm 9 pounds heavier than I was at 12 years old, wearing that dress blue uniform, after 3 months of intense training and muscle building. So here I am, 34 years old. I'm in the worst health of my life. I had a huge wake-up call. I wake up after passing out in the hospital, and the doctors come in and they tell me that my heart is not in normal rhythm. I'm not in normal sinus rhythm. I have a heart arrhythmia. That heart arrhythmia is called AFib. Now, when they told me that, I felt the blood just shriek out of my head. I did. My mother had AFib. My father had AFib. I knew what AFib was. And I knew how limiting it was for them. I knew they had to be on blood thinners and all the drugs they were on. Within 3 months of finding out I was an AFib, of course, I get the whole workup, right? Blood workup, everything. I got high cholesterol. I have high blood pressure. I end up with acid reflux really bad, to the point where my esophagus was so damaged, I actually had, and it was swollen shut, I was choking on food. I couldn't eat meats and stuff without it getting stuck. I had to have them go down with a balloon and open it up. I had to be on a CPAP machine. I had sleep apnea. I was a mess. right? I was diagnosed with all these different issues: acid reflux, AFib, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, the sleep apnea. All right. And I know I'm like forgetting a couple. That's what's sad. I think there was more. But I ended up on 7 different medications. 7 different medications in 3 months. I went from no medications to 7 different medications in 3 months. If I didn't already feel bad enough at 270 pounds and my heart is out of rhythm all the time, they tried shocking me twice, right? So they literally killed me twice and brought me back. All right. I had to have 2 heart ablations where they went in through my groin, electronically severed off nerve impulses and stuff in my heart to stop the weird arrhythmias from happening. Both of them seemed to be successful right after they happened, but within a week or 2, I was back in AFib. We did find medication that worked. Finally, after experimentation with medication, they finally found something that worked and would keep me in normal rhythm. And I decided I was done. I wasn't going to go this way. I wasn't going to be like my parents. I wasn't going to go out like that. I wasn't going to live the rest of my life a victim. A victim of the food industry, a victim of the pharmaceutical industry. I wasn't going to do it. There was no way. It wasn't going to happen to me. I got committed. I got obsessed. I was driven. I was determined. I had discipline. I was at sales boot camp for the company I work for. I still work there. And this lady offered me this friend of mine that I just met at the boot camp told me I should read this book called The China Study, because I was telling her about my health issues, and I'd already lost 15 pounds maybe by that point just through the plain old diet stuff that I had always done. And after reading about a fourth of that book, I went into the doctor, and that's when I found out about the high cholesterol. He wanted to put me on Lipitor for cholesterol. And I was already on 7 medications. I was like, no, I don't want to go on Lipitor. By the way, anxiety. Anxiety was the one I was forgetting about. I was on Xanax for anxiety. They wanted to put me on SSRIs because I was depressed, of course. I refused it. I said, no, I'm not messing up my mind. I actually tried it. I did try it. I had the worst thoughts in my life ever. I literally, never in my lifetime had I ever thought about suicide. 2 days on that stuff, I thought about killing myself. I called the doctor. I said, I can't take this stuff. And sure enough, as soon as I quit taking it, those thoughts went away. And the whole reason was they don't want me on Xanax because Xanax is addicting. I'm like, well, what do you call this stuff? I mean, it was insane. I'm just like, so I didn't want to be on the Xanax. I didn't want to be on any of the medication. And that was what was great with me. It was my mindset. I didn't want to be on it. I was determined to get off of all of the medication. So I said no to the Lipitor. I said, I'm going all vegan. I read the China Study. I'm going all vegan. Now, at the time, I was not eating a healthy vegan diet, but I made a major change and I started losing a lot of weight. And my cholesterol went from 250 to 160 some points. I don't remember the exact, but it was in the 160s in 1 month's time. I went back for another blood test 1 month later, and I was down. And the doctor was scratching his head like it didn't make sense. His recommendations to me, the piece of paper he gave me was eat chicken instead of red meat. Well, what I learned in my research was that there's only like 2 milligrams of cholesterol less out of like 20 some in chicken over red meat. There's less fat. But again, it goes back to this low fat diet that we're going to talk about. All right. So here I am, 42 years old. Okay. So 8 years have passed, right? 8 years have passed. 8 years, I'm in the best shape of my life. At 42 years old, I'm in the best shape of my life, folks. All right, I'm 178 pounds here. I've got some good lean muscle mass. I can see my abs for the first time in my life. Even when I was a Marine, I could never see my abs, folks. All right, I'm eating a whole foods, plant-based diet. Okay, don't freak out. I didn't stay vegan. At this point, I'm not a vegan. I was a vegan for 4 years. And it wasn't totally vegan. By the way, I ate fish. I ate wild-caught fish, but I only ate it like maybe 2 or 3 times a week. All right, sushi was the one thing I didn't want to give up. Anyway, so here I am, 42 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life. All right, I feel great. And I wouldn't replace it for anything in the world. But what I started to do too is I put, by the way, the kid in this photo, he's my 13-year-old now. All right. He's, what is he? He's got to be 10 in that photo because I'm 45 now, and he's like 2 years old over here. Right. So great kid, plays soccer, super active. My kids feed off of me. They don't know anybody any better than healthy eating. They see people eating McDonald's, Burger King, that kind of stuff, and it grosses them out. This little guy, big guy now, a couple years ago, he went to In-N-Out Burger for a birthday party. He had 2 bites of the burger and decided not to eat. I asked him why. He goes, Dad, this stuff just didn't taste right. I thought it was going to make me sick, so I just chose not to eat. I applauded him. I was like, hey, that's great, because that's making the right decision. If you had the choice between eating poison and going hungry, what would you eat? But the problem is the food industry's tricked us into thinking that poison's food. But to his brain, because he's never ate that stuff, his brain is trained to know something's wrong with this food. It's not real food. All right? My brain's that way now. I can't eat that stuff. Right away, I'm like, whoa, something's wrong. I've gone to restaurants that told me that they had grass-fed beef and take one bite, and I know there's antibiotics in it right away. I can taste the difference. My body senses the difference, and I send it back. I'm like, you guys lied to me. This isn't grass-fed. Oh, we made a mistake. We gave you the wrong thing. So what makes me qualified to guide you on this journey? At 12 years old, I was 160 pounds. I joined the Marine Corps at 18 and looked healthy for about a decade, but I wasn't. Okay, I wasn't really healthy. I was 169 pounds when I left boot camp. At 34 years old, that's when it hit, right? Catastrophe hit me. Here's the list of all the problems that I had, right? From no meds to 7 meds in less than 3 months. My reward now is in helping others to create their optimal life. That's why I'm here. That's the why that I found in life. I'm certified as a health coach by the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. I've been certified for about 4 years from them. And I've extensively studied health and wellness since 2008. So your big benefit to our programs here is you're getting all of the hundreds of books and documentaries and podcasts and everything that I've listened to on health and wellness, all the articles I've read. You're getting all that condensed down into these courses. All right. So there's going to be a lot of courses. I've got like over 20 courses that we've either created or are creating. Right. But you're getting this condensed version that hopefully within a much shorter time period, within, a year, 2 years, you can be on the right track by following this lifestyle. 90 days into the lifestyle, you're on the track. And then you're continuing it. And you're going to learn along the way how to continue doing that. You're going to learn all these different courses that are going to teach you the different things that you need to know. Let food be thy medicine, folk, and medicine thy food. This is by Hippocrates. This is ancient stuff, but it translates, all right? They knew it back then, all right? They knew it back then. All right, that's the end of chapter 1.
All right, folks. I really hope that you guys found that valuable. Learning about my story and where I come from hopefully sits with some of you. I'm sure it's very similar to some of your own lives. I hope not, but I wouldn't be here trying to educate people if other people didn't have the same issues that I've had. You may not have as many issues as I had. You might have just that one issue, but one issue is a precursor to many others. I can assure you. I know my mom, when I was younger, she started out with one problem and then another problem, then another problem. And she'd end up on a medication for each one. And then she'd end up on medications because of side effects of medication. And I was not going to live my life drugged. I saw what it did. It wasn't any good. So we got to change, right? We need to change, all right? If you're eating the standard American diet, if you're obese, if you're on your way to that, or even, skinny doesn't mean healthy, guys. You could be skinny and not be healthy. Some people just metabolize better, okay? If you're not eating the nutrition that you should be eating, then you're gonna have health problems. And in our courses, you're going to learn why. And that's so critical, is to learn why. But change is good, people. Change is good. All right? When we stop changing, we stop improving ourselves. I don't want to ever stop changing. I want to continue changing myself for the better. I want to help my children change. I want to help other people change. I want to help you change. I want to help you change you for the better. Why are you here? We're going to go through that in a few minutes. But why are you here? I'm going to tell you right now why I changed, why I decided to change. I decided to change primarily because I had 2 little boys at the time. I had 2 little boys that needed their father. I did not want those children to grow up without me. I couldn't fathom it. I had to change. I had a wife at the time that relied on me as well. I had my parents. I wanted to set an example for my parents. I wanted to not just help myself, but help them. I unfortunately ran out of time with them. But I did help my dad. I did help him extend his life a few years, and I feel good about that. He eventually stopped listening to me, but I feel good about that I helped him. I've helped other people. I've had this health coaching thing that I've been doing now for about 5 or 6 years, and I've helped several people along the way, but it's been one person at a time. I needed a method to get it out there to more people. But finally, I changed because of me. Because I needed to change for me. I needed to start taking care of Daryl. I wasn't taking care of Daryl, guys. I was getting up early. I was getting up at like 5 a.m., going into work by 6:37, working my butt off till 5 or 6 at night, coming home, getting back on my laptop and continuing to work. I was in a high-stress technology job. Part of my change was finding a different path in my career. I had to find the time for me. So I made a shift. I went into a sales job as a sales engineer for a large technology company. It gave me the flexibility. It gave me the ability to work from home. It gave me the ability to schedule my day. So change for me was making from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. every day about me. I get out of bed, I meditate, I go work out. I have my time for me. I listen to my podcast. I get my mind right. I get my body right for that 3 hours to start every day. And I go through every day with more energy than I could have ever imagined when I was 34-year-old Daryl. I just thought as I got older, I was going to keep decaying there for a long time. I'm in better health and better shape than I've ever been in. Change is good, folks. I want you to embrace the change. Now, please continue with me through the course.
All right, folks, are you ready to change? At first, they're going to ask you why you're doing this crazy lifestyle change. People are going to ask you why. People are going to be haters, okay? People are going to think, oh my God, this is nuts. Look at all the other diets you've tried. How's this one going to be any different? They're going to hear stupid comments like that, all right? Later, they're going to ask you how you did it. 6 months from now, they're going to be like, whoa, how did you do that? And then they're going to be curious. And you say, you remember that crazy thing that you were telling me about, that I shouldn't do? Well, I've been doing it, all right? Why are you here? What is your reason? What's your why for being here? What's your catalyst to getting healthy? Or are you here because you are concerned about someone else? Or you're younger and you're looking at your parents thinking like, I don't want to go down that road, right? I don't want to be out of shape and obese, I look at kids I grew up with now and it's like, whew, man, like you guys used to look healthy, but what happened, right? It's the roles have reversed, but it's because I've stayed healthy. I'm closer friends now with people that I never would have been friends with before because we have like interests, right? We lead healthy lifestyles. So, illness. Are you here because of illness? Western disease is any disease of inflammation, all right? And that's what most people that eat the standard American diet either have, are starting to have, or will get eventually, all right? Depression, anxiety. We're going to work on improving mindset. Are you here because you're concerned about your loved ones? Maybe you're the breadwinner. I mean, that was a big concern of mine, folks. I mean, I was the only one bringing in income in my house when that happened. I had two little boys. I had a wife to worry about. I'm like, what's going to happen if something happens to me? I had life insurance, but that stuff only lasts for so long. And I wanted to be there for my kids and be a dad. I don't want them growing up without a dad. All right. Prevention. Are you here for prevention? Are you here to lose weight? Hey, folks, I know you probably watched my intro video. This is not a weight loss program. All right. But if you're here to lose weight, you're in the right place. All right. If you're here to lose weight, if you want to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, this is not the right place. But I encourage you to stick around, because if you go to that other place that's going to help you lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, you're just going to put it back on, and then you're going to want to come back here. All right. A side effect of our lifestyle change program is you will lose weight. All right. Do you want to gain more energy? Do you want to increase your happiness, self-worth? Do you want to gain confidence? All of these are things that are all good reasons to be here. All right. And we're going to be able to help you with any of these reasons. All right. What have you tried in the past? What were the results? Think about your failures. How can we make them successes? All right. If you failed at dieting, don't think of it so much as a failure as a learning experience. You learned that didn't work. Okay. Now you're here to change your lifestyle. What's going to be different this time? This lifestyle change works 100%. You will get healthier. You will lose weight. You will feel better. You will get more energy. You will gain more self-confidence. You will reduce your stress, your anxiety, and you'll reduce depression. Okay? But only if you're committed to change. All right? You've got to be committed. You've got to get obsessed. For this to work, you need to embrace the lifestyle. You need to trust what I'm going to teach you. Success is your duty. You have a duty to your family, you have a duty to your friends, and more importantly, you have a duty to yourself to put your health first. You cannot put other people first, your kids, your wife, your loved ones, your significant other. You cannot put other people first if you're not taking care of your own health. You owe it to your family, your coworkers, your boss, and most importantly, yourself to learn how to take care of you. It's a great graphic, leads on what I talked about at the beginning, all right? Just think about it. You need to have goals. You need to have a vision of what you're going to be later. I never dreamed that I would see my abs again, folks. I never dreamed it, okay? I just wanted to be healthy. I didn't really even care what I looked like at the time. I just wanted to be healthy. Okay, then I got into my 40s and I'm like, wow, I look great. And I ended up going through a divorce. I ended up, we weren't aligned, right, anymore. And I ended up having a great run of dating for a few years because, geez, all of a sudden I was this person people wanted to be around. People wanted to be with. Girls wanted to date me. I looked good. I felt good. I exuded confidence. I still exude confidence. I'm just married now, so very happily so. Anyway, at first they're going to ask you why you're doing it. Later they're going to ask you how you did it. Folks, that's the end of chapter 2. Join us in the next chapter.
Hey folks, hopefully you have your why now and you understand why you're here. I hope you enjoyed me sharing why I'm here. The next thing we're going to talk about is obesity. So I'm going to go through a little education on obesity, where it comes from. I mean, we all kind of know that it comes from overeating, right? Is it? Wait, maybe not. Maybe it's not from overeating. What if obesity is not from overeating? What if obesity is really from not eating the right foods? Okay, I want you to think about that for a minute. We are nutritionally starved, okay, as a country. You can be eating 5,000 calories a day and it's not going to matter. You're still going to be hungry if you're not eating healthy foods. Your brain craves nutrition. Your brain craves those fruits and vegetables that you maybe don't like to eat right now. Those micronutrients in the food that you should be eating are what your body really needs. Sure, your body needs some calories. Your body needs some of those other nutrients, right? But it's the micronutrients, right? Not the macronutrients, it's the micronutrients that are so important. Macronutrients are things like calories, fat, sugars, those sorts of things, right? Micronutrients are the vitamins and the little microorganisms that are in your food that help to strengthen your cell walls, that help to make you healthy. You look at heart disease, cancers, all of these Western diseases. This stuff's all on the rise. It's all going out of control because we're not eating the food we should be eating. It's less about the stuff that you shouldn't be eating and more about the stuff you should be eating. And so get that switched around in your head. Stop thinking as much about, oh, I shouldn't eat that McDonald's hamburger. Think about what you should eat, right? Think about what you need to add. So if I have one recommendation coming out of this course today, is if it's hard for you to give up that bacon double cheeseburger, okay? Make sure you eat a salad with it. A healthy organic salad preferably, okay? And we will get into in our other courses why it is so important, right, to eat organic foods. We'll get into that. Keep one thing in mind as we go through this next section on obesity. Everything you eat or drink is either feeding or fighting illness in your body. Everything. You could be drinking tainted water. It's making you sick. You could be drinking Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever. It's making you sick. Or you could be drinking clean filtered water that's going to help you be vibrant. You could be eating a nice kale salad out of your garden or a hot dog from Costco. They're both going to have a different effect on you. One's going to fight your illness, the other one's going to feed your illness. Okay? So, please join us for this next part on obesity. I think you'll find some things eye-opening, and I really think you're going to have the light bulb go off when you see how the low-fat trends of the 80s correlate to the obesity epidemic. I look forward to sharing more information with you in this next chapter.
All right, everyone, obesity trends. Before the 1990s, it was almost unheard of for people under 30 to have type 2 diabetes. I'm not talking about type 1, I'm talking about type 2. It's now predicted that 1 in every 3 children born in the U.S. will develop type 2 diabetes in their lifetime. Let's change this. This doesn't have to be. This is a prediction. We can change it. We can turn things around. All right? The truth about the obesity epidemic, this is what they don't want you to know. The government, our government, the U.S. government, introduced low-fat guidelines back in the 1980s. Take a look at this graph. All right? Overweight men and women have stayed about the same, but obesity in women and men have almost quadrupled in most cases since the 1980s. We're going to explain to you why. All right, extreme obesity is shot up too. It's gone from like 1 to 2% up to, anywhere from 7 to 10 for men and women. So folks, these are not good statistics. This is for men and women ages 20 to 74 years old. All right. And this is comparing data from the 1960s all the way through 2014. It's even worse for children, folks. I mean, this is sad because, again, like I said, children don't really have a choice. They follow what their adults, what their guardians, their parents tell them to do. Kids, obesity in children is on a huge incline. It's not a good thing. Kids are getting diabetes, folks. Kids as early as 5 years old are getting type 2 diabetes. That's insane. It's insane. And it's because we've taken the fat out of a lot of our foods and we've replaced it with sugar. Well, I have news for you, folks. Fat doesn't make you fat. Sugar makes you fat. And I'm not talking about trans fat. Trans fats are horrible. All right? Saturated fats, they don't make you fat. All right? Healthy saturated fats actually help you burn calories and help you maintain your body size and even lose weight. All right, it's sugar and the toxins, the pesticides, all that stuff. Toxins, by the way, get stored in fat. All right, so you can be eating a 2,000 calorie diet and burning 2,500 calories a day and putting on weight. It's not, there's these misconceptions, right? A calorie is not a calorie. All right, a calorie is not a calorie. I can eat a 700 calorie salad with salmon and some really good stuff in it, some nuts maybe, whatever, and I'm full. I can eat a 700 calorie cheeseburger, all right, and I want the fries later. And the reason why is because my brain's starved. My brain's not getting the nutrition it needs. All right. I explained this in our super loading course, which is also free, that you can take. So I'm not going to get into too much detail on that, but our brains get starved. Okay. Our brains are craving nutrition. They're craving micro and photonutrients, and they're craving fat. Our brain's made of 60% fat. So when we cut fat out, we've had a rise in mental issues as well, that you'll see if you sign up for our programs. You'll see in our Healthy Mind course. All right. Low calorie is healthy because we need to reduce calories. I'm calling BS, folks. All right. Not the case. Not the case at all. All right. I eat like 3,000 calories a day. All right. But it's clean, organic, mostly plant-based, lean meats. I eat meat in things like avocados, nuts. That's where a lot of caloric intake comes from. But you know what? My body burns them, and I need them. I eat nuts I'll be craving fat. Like, whew, I've had a big workout. I need something, right? If you have high cholesterol, you should just quit eating red meats and take a pill. Listen, you're going to go to the doctor. You're going to get this list. If you have high cholesterol, they're going to put you on Lipitor or something similar, and they're going to give you this list of things to eat. Read Forks Over Knives, folks. Don't. I'm telling you, like, they're not helping you with the diet they give you. All right, it's not helping your cholesterol. And quite frankly, statins have now been proven in independent studies to do nothing for you. All they do is change a number on a test. They don't actually do anything to clean out your arteries or prevent more plaque from building up. Exercise is the best way to lose weight. Just burn more calories than you eat. Calling BS again on this one, folks. All right? Your weight control is in the kitchen. It's in the food that you eat. All right? You can burn a lot of calories, don't get me wrong, and you can stay somewhat skinny for a while, but it's not going to last. All right? And just because you're fit doesn't mean you're healthy. All right? Doesn't mean you're healthy. But you can't be healthy without being fit. That's the opposite, right? So that's kind of cool. I heard that from Jesse Itzler. He's a pretty amazing dude. So it's a little quote, and I think I use it again in another course later. But anyway, that's the end of chapter 3, folks.